Hey there, YouTubers. I'm gonna cook another meal. Yay! I have a pork loin filet. It's Italian herb style. It says cook in the bag, but I'm not gonna cook it in the bag. I'm gonna cook it in the NuWave oven. So I have the NuWave out. It's also laundry day. Today's a lazy kind of day. And there I have sprayed down the NuWave with cooking spray, and I put aluminum foil down. I've started just putting it over the whole thing and then still setting the top down. It makes cleanup so much easier. Let's get started. So the pork tenderloin is out and on the grill, and these things are like they're made for the NuWave Mini because they fit just perfect. And I'll get my handy little sheet out and see how long it cooks. Tenderloin, frozen 20 minutes aside, unfrozen 12 minutes aside. This has a little bit of both. I'm going to start with 15 minutes. Get it in, and it's already on high. Cook time. We'll do 15 minutes. Start. You can hear the fan running. Alright, so we'll let this get going. First side went off. Now I'll flip it. Put it in this little holder. Grab a fork. Flip it, put the cover back on, set the cook time, 15 more minutes. Away it goes. So it went off, ended. I think it looks pretty darn good. Look at that. There's the lid there. And what I'm going to do is something a little different. I'm going to move the whole thing over there out of the way, and I'm going to let it rest. Okay, so that's going to rest. And I have a frying pan, and I also have just a electric burner. I also brought my induction cooktop with me, but I have this as well, and I haven't used it yet, and I think I'm going to give it a try. And it's just a little dial. We'll turn it to medium, and we'll get started. Bought some frozen O'Brien potatoes, so I'm going to cook those. Okay, a good skillet load of those in there, stuff back in the freezer, and we'll get these going. Some olive oil in it, some Mrs. Dash because I like it, and a little bit of garlic salt. These are chugging along, starting to brown up a little bit. Now I will remind why I use the electric appliances. I use the NuWave because this is a Class B. I don't have a propane oven. I use this little burner or my induction cooktop because it runs on electricity, and I figure if I'm paying for camp fees, why burn my propane? Which again, because of my stupidity on the GFI issue, I ran more propane than I expected because I couldn't get the fridge to run on electricity. And when I go places, when I leave shore power, since this is a Class B, I take this places. So if I park somewhere, like I went for lunch, I might go for lunch again, I go up to Wi-Fi, I have to turn the fridge and freezer on propane to keep the food cold. So why burn extra propane when I have electricity that I'm paying for? Okay, we'll keep these going. And then throw in too that the hot water tank uses propane to heat that up. For now, I'm looking at maybe making that change when money becomes available. I think that's another one of my gee whiz gadgets on my list, but there'll be a video when that happens. Okay, gonna keep cooking. Those are pretty close. What I'm gonna do, I added some more olive oil when you weren't looking. I'm gonna unplug. And I could probably do both at once, but I'm going to plug the NuWave back in. Do a couple more minutes after it's rested. Then I'll flip it, do a couple more minutes on that, and then I'll plug this back in. Maybe at the end I'll try them both, I don't know. We'll see. Don't need to trip circuits or anything, so I probably won't. I'm going to flip that. Looking good. Looking good. With the NuWave, you have to fiddle with it a little bit to find out how you like it. I'm a fan of things a little bit more done, so I usually go a little bit longer than it says, and then I'll cut this open and see if it's where I want it to be. But if you have one or ever plan on getting one, it just takes a little getting used to, because basically it's a what do you call that, slipping my mind, you know, the ovens with a fan in it. There's an easy name for it that I can't think of right now, but it's one of those, so you have to get used to it. So that looks pretty good to me. I probably did maybe 6 or 8 minutes over what the card said, because again, that's how I kind of like it. But we'll cut it open in a minute. We got the plug back in, and we got the potatoes warming back up. Okay, it's cooked. It gives it a pink thing through the camera, but it's really not pink. It looks pretty good. So I'm gonna cut up that portion of it, and that looks pretty darn good to me. Let's add the potatoes. Alright, there we go, YouTubers. I'm not going to call it health food, but I don't think it's bad eating whatsoever. And it's still relatively early. It's like a late lunch, so I think the rest will be later on. This is my eating for the day. Have a great and wonderful day. Oh wait, taste test, I almost forgot. And potatoes. Those are very, very good. Pork tenderloin, looks good to me. Oh man, that's good eating. Alright, now have a great and wonderful day, YouTubers.